The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Hales Corners Speedway Sim Racing Series. Guys, kicking off season number 2 right here at Cedar Lake. They've had a few weeks off, got some things in order, changed a few things. Street stock still the order of business for race number 1, just like last season. See if Reed Rundle can defend his title. And then they've changed from the limited lights to the pro late model for their second mod each night. So looking forward to seeing what the guys can do in a little bit bigger car. 26 drivers have checked in this evening. Most of the same old familiar faces: Kinjerski, Reidner, Burnt, Rundle, Gross, Johnson, Peter Brees, J.J. Schilling. Pretty much the same old group. We're ready to get it going season number 2. A few new sponsors. If you're watching the ticker, the little slideshow at the bottom, you'll see some new sponsors. The Street Stocks, the BnH Builders Street Stock Series for this season. So, be a little bit different look for these guys. Drivers meeting going on right now. Got the guys in the chat telling them what is happening. Getting them squared away so they know what's going on the track tonight. A second of 4 shows this evening. NDRA already completing their stuff for this evening. That was a couple hours ago. And now back to back with Hales Corner. During the second show, Dominic Santino will go live via Facebook with the Dirt Kings, as they're getting really close to the end of their season, I think. I think they're already making plans for next season. We got a few messages from them, so see what transpires there. See if we're going to continue to have full-day racing every Sunday for you guys. Don't forget, if you're on any of the Facebook pages, please come by the Dirt Racing Network. Like, share, and follow the page. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, subscribe to the channel. Know every single time the Dirt Racing Network goes live, multiple times a week. Tomorrow night, Dominic Santino, 8 o'clock p.m., Dirt Slingers. Monday Night Thunder, 360 Sprint Cars, round number 14 for that series. They will be at Eldora. And then as soon as the 360s get done, the big block modifieds will take to the track at Eldora. Round number 4 of the Tim Sims General Tires Winter Nationals going on there. That group's had 3 different winners in 3 different races, all at Eldora, but no one has repeated as a winner, and it has been some very exciting racing for those guys. So that's your Monday. Couple of minutes left in this thing. If you watched from the beginning, you saw all the ads. We are very proud to have all of those sponsors on board with the Dirt Racing Network. Rocket Racing Setups, Tim Sims, School of Sim Racing, Dirt Slingers Racing League, all big supporters of the Dirt Racing Network. So if you're interested in advertising, reach out to us. We'll see what we can do to help you out. 13 shows a week. Over 10,000 followers. We reach an audience of about 120,000 a week. So getting down to the end of the drivers' meeting. These guys about to break up. Everybody go crawl in the car and get ready to go out for qualifying. So while they get ready for that, let us do our due diligence and get our invocation and our national anthem in.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, drivers on track for qualifying. Watching David Kinjerski complete his 2 laps. Right now, position number 4 is Nick Sobiak, 16.337 seconds. J.J. Schilling, 16.354. And Cole Duggar, 16.356 seconds. Tony Brent on the track right now. 28 machine. 21st quickest with his first lap. I don't think the top side's where you want to be in qualifying. I think you want to be a little bit closer to the inside there. Yeah, did not improve his time at all. Tony Ichkowski. Ichkowski having problems up around the top side as well. Looking to see if that 5 car is going to roll out. Colin Skindalewski sitting back just behind the green cones here. One of only 2 cars did not have taken time already. New name to the series. I don't think Brandon Hull is going to make a qualifying attempt. He just took his car off of the grid. Reed Rundle went to the top, 16.301. So the champ picking up where he left off. Here comes Skinzalewski's car out on to the Speedway. Hello again, Brian. Andy Gross fan in the house. Got to keep her out of the fence. That's one thing I know for sure. First time lap on the clock right here. .195 seconds. 25th quickest. And his second lap, a little bit slower. About a half a second slower. He is 24th, as Ichkowski was the only car that took time that was slower. Brandon Hull, the 99 car, not taking time. That's going to do it for qualifying. Getting ready for our 3 heat races. Nine cars scheduled to be in your first heat race. We will run through the Scribadub Car Wash starting lineup. It will be James Fletcher On the pole, the 75 machine. On his outside, the Shark RC Carbides number 112 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Chris Johnson. Row 2 on the inside, newcomer to the series, Cole Duggar. I think that car has an 11 on the side of it. And on his outside, last season's champion in this series, Buddy's Racing Equipment TDC Race Team number 43 out of Oxford, Michigan, Reed Rundle. Third row on the inside, the Picala Auto Solutions number 41, Ryan Fisher out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin. On his outside, John Brunner in the 46. Your fourth row on the inside, the GB Restoration and Repair number 77 out of East Troy, Wisconsin, Gary Budzine. And to his outside in the 28 car will be Tony Brent. And your starter on the back by himself in the Black Flag Racing number 22 out of West Allis, Wisconsin, the Itch, Tony Ichkowski. Hello, Mr. Nichols. Hope you rested up, buddy. And if you're not, you need to get rested up by tomorrow. We got a big night of racing. All right, 9 cars. Top of 4. Top 4 or top 5? I think top 5. I'll have to go back and look at that here in just a second, but we're about to go green, so I don't have time to look. Last season, it was a top 5 out of each heat. Put 20 cars in our feature. 0 points right now. Getting ready to fire off season number 2 right here. Hill Corners.
Green flag, green flag.
Speedway Sim Racing Series, and they are underway for heat race number 1. Fletcher off the point takes the lead. Here comes Cole Duggar in the 11 car. Right in behind him, he got around Chris Johnson, who stayed up on the top side for lap number 1. He falls back to third, and Reed Rundle is going to settle into the 4th position. Right behind him, Ryan Fisher, just a little ways back, probably about 5 car lengths at this point. We'll watch these guys around and off turn 4. 2 laps of 8 complete. Single file line right through the middle. Fletcher out in front, hanging on to the lead. Five laps to go. Heat race number 1. Still Fletcher, Duggar, Johnson, and Rundle. Ryan Fisher in 5th. He's got a pretty healthy gap front and back. Not too close to Rundle, and John Brunner in the 46. Not too close behind him. Then Brent, Budzine, and Ichkowski falling in line behind that. The front 4 have stayed pretty much nose to tail the entire time. Nobody able to go forward after the initial start here. Ooh, Johnson a little out of shape. He's going to lose some ground to Duggar. Down to 3 to go. Now Cole Duggar trying to put some pressure on James Fletcher, but that didn't work out for him as he got the car out of shape and lost some ground. 2 to go that time by. Still a single file line. Oh, Mr. Evans. White flag in the air. Heat race number 1 about to wind down. This one is all James Fletcher. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Fletcher, Duggar, Johnson, and Rundle for sure going to the feature. We will check quickly and see if more than the top 4 go. Used to be 5. It is still 5. I didn't think they were going to change that very much. So 5 from there, 5 from each of the heat races, and 5 from our B main. As we get ready for heat race number 2. The Scrimmage Car Wash starting lineup looks like this. The 40 car, a Bud Ridner on the pole, known as outside. Briar Zimmerman in the 10. Row 2 on the inside. The MKE Laser Design number 15 of David Kinjerski. And on the outside of him, the RLV Faster Motors VLR number 23 from Big Bend, Wisconsin, Nick Sobiek. Row 3 on the inside. Scrub It Up Car Wash Black Flag Racing number 74. from Waterford, Wisconsin. Peter Brees changing from the 8 car last season to the 74 this season. And on his outside in the 35, Zach Krieger. Your 4th row on the inside, the Sorens Ford at number 11 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Ricky Johnson. And Keegan Bush in the 27 on the outside of that row. And Megan of the back row by himself in the 99 is going to be Brett Hull. All right, everybody lined up, ready to go. Pace truck will accelerate away from these guys down here in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Zimmerman, the 0, not the 10, the 0 car. On the outside of that front row next to Bud Reidner.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. Heat race number 2 underway. Solid start from the front row. Both cars side by side through turns 1 and 2. Now Reidner with the advantage shuts the door on Zimmerman. A little bit of a wad of cars behind that. Kinjerski, Sobiek, Brees, all right there together. It looks like they're going to sort that out for the most part right now. Kinjerski into 3rd, Sobiek into 4th, and Brees will slide back into that 5th spot. Ricky Johnson, Zach Krieger, Brandon Hall, and Keegan Bush. Keegan Bush a little ways back. Off the pace just a touch right now. These guys come through turns 3 and 4 right there, excuse me. As they complete the 3rd of 8, so 5 to go in Heat 2. Looks like they're trying to move the cushion already up, moving them marbles up the track a little bit, maybe widen this thing out and get some racing going on. Reidner joined the series about midway last season and made his presence known quickly, always up front. Several podiums after his appearance. Right now, the best battle on the track right here is going to be for the 4th spot as Brees pulled alongside Sobiek briefly. I think that is going to entice Sobiek to put the whip to the ponies just a little bit and see if he can't get out in front of these guys. Not going to be able to run the guys in front down, but the closer you can start to the front of the feature, the easier it is to get to the point, possibly pick up a win. White flag in the air. Reidner and Zimmerman. Pretty close here. Zimmerman looking on the inside. I don't think it's going to be enough. Too much momentum on the top side. Reidner will win Heat 2. Zimmerman, Kinjerski, Sobiek, and Brees all will head into the feature with him. Johnson, Hull, Krieger, and Bush will come. One of those guys has a chance to come out of the B main. Maybe all of them. All right, final heat race. Gridding out on the front stretch. It's going to be the 21 of Corey Funk on the pole with the Buddies Racing Equipment I-41 Speedway. Number 17 of Dean Burnt from Slinger, Wisconsin on his outside. Your second row on the inside, the Shark RC Bodies Gross Racing. And number 14 from Hartford, Wisconsin, Randy Gross. And J.J. Schilling will start the one machine to the outside of him. Third row. On the inside, the CJR Pride of Tosa. Number 64 from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, Randy Brunner. And on the outside, Jim Butcher in the 117. And your final row, Dean Gagliano in the 34 car on the inside. And Colin Skinzalewski will start in position number 8. All right, pace truck's about to take off and leave these guys behind. Green flag.
Green flag.
Right
green
there,
flag.
we are underway. Final heat race, street stocks with the BnH Builders. Straight stock series. Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing. Out of 2. Corey Funk going to hang on to the lead, but here comes Andy Gross in the 14 working right through the middle of the track. A little bit of contact, I think, right there, and Gross gets out of shape, loses a bunch of ground. Going to hang on to second, and 3 wide behind that. Burnt on the top, Schilling in the middle, and Brunner down on the bottom. Schilling in low, right across the nose of the 64 of Brunner. Schilling had third for the time being. Oh, contact with your leaders, and now J.J. Schilling around the inside. Can he pull off the 2-for-1 out of turn 2? Yes, he does. New leader, J.J. Schilling, after contact between Funk and Gross. Opened the door for him, and he jumped right through it. Now see if he can hold off the 14 of Andy Gross. Schilling wide in 2. Drives down the hill. Good momentum. Gross still second. Brunner now around the inside. Got past Funk. He's into third. Corey Funk in fourth. Jim Butcher, the 117 car, your bubble boy right now. Fifth and final transfer spot on the line right there. But the battle at the front's going to heat up. I think Gross may have something for Schilling here. He's running a little bit wider. Schilling keeping that one car locked in the basement. 3 to go that time by. Now Schilling gets a pretty good run out of 2. Opens the gap to about 4.5 car lengths. Brunner still third. Funk and Butcher fourth and fifth. But Dean Burnt right back into the mix. He made a challenge off of 4 right there for that fifth and final transfer spot. 17 car looks strong this evening. Good run there, just not quite enough momentum, and he can't make that guy get off the line going in, which is what he really needs to do, is get him out of shape going in, make him have to work up the hill. So final lap, white flag, we're going to the front because Gross has his nose on the outside of Schilling. J.J. Schilling out of turn number 4. Who's going to have it at the line? Schilling. By 9. Andy Gross by 9 1/1000ths of a second. On the outside, took the spot. Schilling, Brunner, Funk, and Butcher straight to the A. Burnt, Gagliano, and Skinzalewski will be in the B main. That should be coming up next. Good pass on the outside. Just kept working it. Finally got the car in position. So we get ready for our B main. It's going to be Gagliano and Hull in row 1. Row 2, Brent and Burnt. Ricky Johnson and John Brunner in row 3. Row 4, Gary Budzine and Zach Krieger. Your 5th row, Colin Skinzalewski and Tony Itzkowski. And Keegan Bush scheduled to line up in position number 11. So 5 cars from this one. All right, lights off on the pace truck. B main will get underway out of turn number 4. 11 cars racing for 5 spots. Good, clean racing to this point. Great last lap pass in the last heat race for the win.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. Good start on the outside for Hall. Burnt right alongside Gagliano. Looks like he was just asleep at the wheel. Oh, now big stack up. Burnt right in the middle. Skinzalewski is in this. Ichkowski got in it. I think the 77 of Gary Budzine, the only one that actually was part of that contact that escaped with no real detriment. So it's Hull, Burnt, Budzine, Tony Brent, and Zach Krieger right now, your top 5. Skinzalewski in 6th. A pretty good ways back. He was part of the action with all the contact. He's got about a full second to make up on Krieger. if he is going to take one of the transfer spots. But Brandon Hall, 9/10 of a second that time by, out in front of Dean Burnt. Budzine, about a half a second back of that. Then it's about 3/10 back to Tony Brent. And then Zach Krieger almost a full second behind that. So top 5 pretty comfortable in their spots as long as Krieger can keep the car straight. He's got a pretty big gap. I know Bush has got some damage on the front of that, but he's closing in, going to try to take over the 6th spot. A lot to happen if those two guys are going to make it up and transfer to our feature tonight. Watching the 99 car of Brandon Hull. Took the lead at the drop of the green. Has not been challenged. He's going to come around this time and see the 3 to go signal. Way up on the banking in 1 and 2. Look at Dean Burnt in here. Battle for 3rd. Now Budzine getting a challenge from Tony Brent. Budzine up top. Brent working the bottom. Highline's got a lot of momentum with 2 to go. That time in 1 and 2, Brent got a good run off the bottom. We'll see what happens out in 3 and 4 as they come to the white flag. Brandon Hull already there. Pretty much a dead heat that time. Checkered flag of this time. Brandon Hull will win the B main. Tony Burnt. Dean Burnt, Tony Brent, Gary Budzine, and Zach Krieger all going to the feature with Mr. Hull. So our 20-car field is set. They waste no time around here. Oh, looks like we took 7 out of the B mains. We got 22 cars, so the top 7 transferred. We've expanded the field from 20 to 22 this season. So the grid will be Arundel and Brunner on row 1, Kinjerski and Johnson in row 2, Schilling and Zimmerman in row number 3, row 4, Duggar and Gross, Reidner and Fletcher the 5th row, Sobiek and Funk in row 6, row 7, Ryan Fisher and Peter Brees. The 8th row is Jim Butcher and Brandon Hull, Dean Burnt and Tony Brent in row 9, row 10, Gary Budzine and Zach Krieger. In your back row, Colin Skinzalewski and John Brunner. So, 22 cars. 2-car extension to the field this season. 43 car getting the benefit of the 10-car invert for the feature. He will start P1. "20 laps, the distance." "22 cars. Green out of turn number 4.
Green, green, green.
I'm not sure what was going on with the 64 car, but he was way, way, way out in front. He is going to have to give some of that back, I am sure. As they are 4 wide out of 2. It's Johnson and Gross were in the middle between Schilling and Kinjerski.
Caution is out.
And a caution. I wonder what we're going to get caution for here. think maybe we... Oh, there it is right there. Corey Funk got turned around. So the 21 car, heavily damaged. Don't think he's going to be able to continue much. 75 car also in that of James Fletcher. So we didn't make it a full lap. We'll get this field back to 2 wide here. Give us a restart. Still 19 laps on the board. Rundle and Kinjerski now your front row. Pace truck was away. Reed Rundle was on the throttle, and the green flag is in the air. Way better restart than we had initial start. Everybody down through 1 and 2. They're going to stay 2 wide, quite a ways back here. Higher 9th and 10th place cars right there. Sobiek and Brees. Side by side, almost 3 wide, close to the front. Schilling's in the middle between Kinjerski and Johnson. Johnson, little contact on the left rear of the 1 car. Schilling had second for just a moment, but Kinjerski working the top side. And he has found a little something coming out of the corners there. He's making the big run to get in there. Chris Johnson now pulls into the open gap between Duggar and Gross. That puts him in position number 5. And the only good battle right now on the track is still for second. Kinjerski, Duggar, and Schilling. And Kinjerski and Schilling still side by side. So we've completed 5 of the scheduled 20 laps. Still Reed Rundle. Rundle working the bottom very well, kind of getting up in the middle on the exits. He's probably going to have to make a decision pretty soon because Kinjerski's working the top side, and he used that to get around Schilling. Slow car on the track. That is Skinzalewski's car. Colin having a lot of problems right in front of your leader. Gets into the door. That's going to check up Rundle.
All right, man, caution is out.
Rundle's going to catch a break there because I think he might get past right here if that doesn't happen. So we'll watch the 5 car. He's going to go down to 1 and 2. He's going to get way sideways right there. Rundle made the good move to get to the outside, but then Skinzalewski just comes right back into the left-hand door. So Rundle, Kinjerski, Schilling, Duggar, Johnson, Gross, Sobiek, Reiner, Brees, and Hull. Right now, Corey Funk and James Fletcher are the only 2 retirees from the race, so still 20 cars on the track. All 20 still on the lead lap. Actually, they're now scoring the 5 car 1 lap down. Took a while for that to update, I guess. We will get ready to double file the field back up. 13 laps to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Rundle, another good start, and he is going to go right through the middle. Now the car going to come towards the top side on the exit. Good run for him. Schilling had thoughts of second for just a moment, but Kinjerski shut the door on that. Now Schilling through the infield. That's not going to work out for him. It's going to open the door for Duggar, Gross, and a host of others to go around. Drop Schilling all the way to 8th in that exchange. Still Reed Rundle, David Kinjerski, now Cole Duggar, Andy Gross from 6th on the restart to 4th. Here comes Bud Reidner, the 40 car. Ridner out of shape, not going to be able to make that bid stick. He pulls back in line, gets a little bump from Sobiek. Now comes down, bump Sobiek back. That's for 5th. Put Nick Sobiek in the spot. Rundle and Konjerski still going at it up here for the lead. I think it might just be a matter of time. We're down to 9 to go. Konjerski now had the nose alongside. Rundle out of 4. I think Konjerski's got the lead here when we come to the flag stand. The top side, Andy Gross has gotten around. Now he's going to be making a bid for 2nd. He'll just have Konjerski in front of him. Rundle pinned himself down on the bottom, and I think he's going to be stuck there. Lap's not going to wind off quick enough for the 43 car unless he makes a bold move. Gets in front of Duggar. He is going to fall off the podium. Outside line, 6 cars, nose to tail. Only Rundle on the bottom. In your top 7. 6 to go this time by. Now, Chris Johnson really out of shape out of 4, and he loses position and time. There's a hole for Rundle to get back to the top, but he's all the way back to 4th. Konjerski still out in front. Gross 2nd, Duggar, Rundle, Ridner, and Sobiek your top 4. Watch our top 3 right here. Coming down to 4 to go. No mistakes. If you make a mistake, it's going to cost you. Rundle with a big mistake in the middle of 3 and 4, and that's going to open the door for Ridner. Not going to be able to do anything with it this time by. Three to go for Konjerski. J.J. Schilling has fallen from the front of the field all the way back and hanging into 10th right now. He is just barely in front of Peter Brees back there. So we're coming to 2 to go. Now Sobiek taking a peek on the inside of Rundle for 4th. Oh, Ridner got in the back of Rundle. Give him a push. White flag of this time by. Konjerski still holding on to the lead. Keeping the 15 car right around the top. Good run out of 2. Opening up the gap. I don't think we're going to see the slider. Maybe we are going to see the slider across the top of the track. Konjerski back through the middle. Is he going to win it? Konjerski wins it at the line. Gross is 2nd. Duggar is 3rd. Rundle hung on for 4th. And Ridner for 5th. Get the boys around. Get them all parked up here. Get ready for interview time. Bring the drivers in as we get ready for those interviews. All right. Let's see. Do we have new driver? Fletcher is here. Gagliano, Burnt Gross. There's Cole Duggar right there. I'll bring him to the waiting room. Andy Gross and David Konjerski. Get these guys ready to go. Cole Duggar, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, a great run tonight. Bring it home in 3rd. Tell us a little bit about your evening.
Oh, well, I had decent qualifying. That was pretty good. Top 5. I think got 4th in qualifying. That was good to go. Heat race. Just kind of followed through. Kind of followed the leader at that point in the track. And kind of hard to make a move for first place, but what the heck, that'd just put me further back in the invert, right?
Yeah, that's usually how those big inverts work, and I was surprised to see such a big invert. But, when you get to where the track is kind of single file, what are you looking for to try to make a pass?
It kind of depends. When it's real busy, you can't really do much. You kind of got to stay in line. I think it was Reed up front, and then the 15 car in front of me. I was running third at one point. I kind of tried to run middle line. I got a run, but then it's just you can't hold it. So I ended up losing a spot there, and then it was kind of follow the leader in third place. I should have never gotten out of line.
Yeah, I usually get freight train, and that's what I think what happened to Rundle there late in the running. But, man, you had a good night tonight. You come home third. I'm sure you got some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you go celebrate.
Yeah, I got to give big thanks to Team Outlaw Motorsports, William Duvall, Jesse for the paint, Brent Spates. Thanks for the broadcast, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks for chatting with us, and look forward to seeing you in the late models in a little bit.
Thank you.
Cole Duggar, your third-place finisher. Let's move on and talk to Mr. Gross. Hard to spot him out there. The car wasn't orange and blue this season, but Andy Gross, you got a copy.
I got you, Roger.
New paint on the machine. You come home second in the first feature tonight. Tell us about your run.
Yeah, I knew that it was all about, trying to pass clean and keep the car straight tonight, and wanted a good first showing for the new sponsors on the car, and just wanted to get out to a good start in the new series this year.
Well, second is a pretty good start to the season, man. Tell us, how tough was it to find a place to pass anyone out there pretty much in a short feature?
Yeah, the track was pretty difficult, and, we had that really good one lane right up on the berm, and, you just got to hit your marks and make no mistakes, and hats off to Dave Kajerski because, man, he drove the wheels off of that and tried to make a pass on the last lap going into 3, but just didn't have it. But it made for a great end of the race.
Fantastic finish for sure. Who's on the car this season helping you out?
Yeah, I want to thank Brian and Heather Hamer at BnH Builders. I want to thank Dave Kajerski at Ski Graphics. I want to thank Nate Novak from Henco Waterjet Supply. And I want to thank Paul at Shark RC Bodies for all the sponsorship this season. Looking forward to a good showing in the street stock and hopefully even better in the late model.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on starting the season off very well, and we look forward to seeing you in a little while in the streets, in the late models.
I look forward to it, Roger. Thanks.
Your second place finisher, Mr. Andy Gross. Now, let's move on. Whoops, wrong button. Let's move on to our winner, Dave Kajerski. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you open the season up the right way, man. You pick up the win in the first feature. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Man, it was a lot of fun. And Reed got stuck on the bottom there once the track came in on the top and got me out front. And then late charge from Andy Gross and the last lap effort was made for a great finish.
Yeah, the slider, did you know that was coming? Did you anticipate that?
Oh, yeah, I knew that was coming from the moment he was behind me. I just didn't know when. I thought he might try it on turn 1 and 2. But I knew it was coming. It was a matter of time. And then once he didn't do it in 1 and 2, I knew he was going to do it in 3 and 4. So crossed over, and then I got scared there for a second because Cole was right there. I didn't know he was down there until I was down there. But, yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Well, a great win. Good job starting the season off on top. See if you can hang on to the points. Who's on the car helping you out each and every night?
We got Skis Graphics, do racing designs for iRacing or real cars, T-shirt designs and stuff. And then we got MKE Laser Design. They're doing some really cool stuff with some laser cut metal signs. They're the ones doing the awards for us at the end of the season. Got JR Photography. Jess Riedner does some really good photography work at some local tracks and some like graduation photos and wedding photos. And then Mr. Lid Containers. They you never lose the lid.
All right. Well, that's interesting enough. Never heard of it, but I'm definitely going to check it out now that you said something.
Hey,
Well, man,
MrLid.com, man.
I'm going to check it out for sure. I thought for sure maybe something, a little contact there towards the end with you guys. I know how guys get a little aggressive, but you did a great job threading the needle coming back through. Congratulations on the win, and I look forward to seeing you in the late model shortly.
Hey, I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
All right. David Kinjerski, your winner. Starting off of the season, the BnH Builders Street Stock Series for the Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing Series. Let's run through our official results here. Kinjerski wins it. Gross was second. Duggar was third. Then Reed Rundle in fourth. Bud Reidner finishes fifth. Sixth to Nick Sobiek. Chris Johnson in seventh. Brandon Hall in eighth. Ninth to Ryan Fisher. J.J. Schilling in 10th. Peter Brees was 11th. Jim Butcher comes home 12th. Gary Budzine 13th. 14th to Brian Zimmerman. John Brunner in the 15th spot. 16th. Tony Brent. Dean Burnt in 17th. Zach Krieger 18th. And 19th to Randy Brunner. Colin Skinzalewski finishes 20th, 21st to Corey Funk, and James Fletcher finishes 22nd. Got about 15 minutes before they get the server fired up for the Pro Late Model Series. We'll be right back here at Cedar Lake, so we will break in our coverage, and we will come back in about 20 minutes and pick up round number 1 for that series, the discountshoptowels.com late models. So tune back in for that. Give us time to take a restroom break, do a couple of things, readjust a couple of graphics, and we'll get right back here for you. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Don't forget, like I said, Facebook, come over, Dirt Racing Network. Like, share, and follow the page if you're on YouTube and Twitch. Subscribe to the channel. For myself and Dominic Santina here at the Dirt Racing Network. If you don't come straight back to us, we can't wait to see you the next time. And until we do, keep it dirty, everybody. See you soon.